From the moment I came back up here to Bristol in mid-March when all of sports got shut down, I told you I'm going to be optimistic because it costs the same as being pessimistic, but that I will never be unrealistic. I'm never going to lie to you sitting up here. And so the reality of it is right now, this could not possibly have started worse. The idea that this has already gotten to a point where they had to cancel a minimum of one baseball game tonight, and maybe there will be more cancellations today, less than a week into the season. It was easy to foresee, and if they don't have a plan ready to go, I don't think it's overstating it to say everything hangs in the balance this quickly. So Jalen and Bomani, I'll come to you on that thought. Jalen, let me start with you. We see the NBA and the fact that they've gone into this bubble, and now we sit back and we say to ourselves, that might be the only realistic way to conduct a sports season during a pandemic.
This is the genius of the NBA, and this is why when we talk about the best commissioners in sports, first it was David Stern, now Adam Silver carries the torch. Look at all corporations in the United States of America. The only one that I know about in theory that's putting its employees in a bubble is the NBA. Now, for sports, what allows that really to work? 80% of the regular season was already played. So now you're not trying to chase those regular season checks. For baseball and the NFL, those seasons have not started. So not only can they not go into the bubble, they want to figure a way to play their season, get to a champion, and get their checks. So for the NBA, the timing worked out well. I don't see Major League Baseball, based on the reports that you guys have reported this morning, finding a way to get towards a World Series champion without multiple interruptions. The same thing can be said for the NFL.
Bomani, I'll give you the floor here. What are your thoughts?
I mean, they are trying their best because the money is so significant and the consequences are dire if they're not able to put a season together. And we knew that from the very beginning that this was going to be hard. But the NBA has a distinct advantage. There's only 15 players per team. It's a lot easier to put them into a bubble than it would be for the NFL. I don't know how big the wild world of sports would have to be if they tried to bubble that. And I think baseball's in a similar place. But once everybody decided, whoever they were, that they were going to be jumping on planes and people were going to be going back home, then somebody was going to catch it. That was inevitable. There's a reason. It's a pandemic. That's how pandemics work. There was no chance that nobody was going to catch it. And then once they wound up back with the team, this was something that we knew was entirely possible. What I can't glean from here is, did they have a set plan, and if-then plan for what happens? Because this was obviously foreseeable. And if they didn't have a clear idea of what they would do for an outbreak with the team, that's a great failure on the part of Major League Baseball.
It seems almost impossible to me that there isn't a plan. Again, Jeff Passan said there's nothing in the 113-page plan as to what you do when there is a significant outbreak. But as I said to him, and Bomani, I'll say it to you, none of this can be taking people by surprise. They have to have some idea of what they are doing. But the question is, would you expect, I hate to ask you to speculate about something this serious, but the Yankees are supposed to play in Philadelphia today. Bomani, does that game get played? Do they go into that clubhouse and they just go back on that field and play that same team? Can Major League Baseball do that today?
I will say this, the Major League Baseball Players Association of my youth wouldn't step foot in that clubhouse, right? From Marvin Miller to Don Fear all the way down, they would not put a toe into that clubhouse back then. I don't know how it goes right now, though, because of the stakes for everybody. But if I'm on the Yankees, nah, man, I'm not going in there. I look at all the places I don't go right now.
Jalen, what do you think? If you're an athlete, all athletes, have one similar mentality. You want to play. Your first and foremost desire is always to play. But these are circumstances unlike anything we've ever considered. We're not talking about a torn up knee or anything like that. What do you think? Do you think these players are going to want to continue?
I don't think so. It's risk versus reward, and baseball players get a chance to play the marathon game, not a sprint. They have the best union in professional sports. Their contracts are guaranteed. You can sign for unlimited years. They have the leverage of not operating like essential workers in this case, especially a storied brand like the New York Yankees. So I absolutely anticipate you doing more breaking news stories about how players are going to respond to this as the day progresses.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.